Resistance is futile.
What's up, preppers, patriots, people, anyone who's found the video? Welcome back, and today we're talking about the Brit card, or the digital ID, or whatever you want to brand it as, but basically this digital ID system that they want to introduce. Now, we've petitioned it. We've signed the petition. It goes to Parliament. It'll be dismissed. That's the unfortunate fact in this country. We've seen petitions before with these kind of numbers, and it doesn't go anywhere. If they want to dismiss it, they'll dismiss it. If they want to implement it, they will implement it. And this is the sad fact, and this is why I want to do this video, to try and put across the reality of the situation, because a lot of people, especially in comments, are in a bit of cloud cuckoo land. I'm not going to get the ID. I'm going to resist. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. The only way to possibly resist digital ID is to be completely out of the system already, is to be off grid already. If you've ever had a driving license, if you've ever had a passport, you've got a national insurance number that you get when you're 16 in this country, you're in the system. The birth registry, you're in the system. They already know about you. You exist. Digital ID, it's not going to make you exist any more or less in the system than you already are. And that's the sad truth, that we're already part of this system. This is just another way for them to keep tabs on us. And it's a vote. I agree with you that it's a bad thing, and it's one step close to,
Your papers, please.
you know, showing your ID to police on the streets and stop and search and all that lot, taking away our freedoms a little bit at a time. And I do feel that we should resist stuff like that. We should resist anything when it's totalitarianism. But when it comes to digital ID, I'll be honest, it's neither here nor there for me. I'm not off grid. I'm in the system. I have a job that uses PAYE. I pay taxes. I'm already there. They already know who I am. They can already find me. They can already track, trace, and all that lot already.
I don't even know who you are.
So the digital ID won't make a difference. So if you're kidding yourself that you're not going to get it because it's going to take away your freedoms, it's going to do nothing different to what you've already got or what are already in place. And if you are one of those lucky people that is completely off grid and completely off the system, but there's no escape from this. This is going to happen, whether it's with this government, the next government, and so on and so forth. It's been talked about so long, it's been implemented in so many different countries, that it just feels like it's going to be that inevitable next step. In a way, if done right, it could be a more convenient thing. It could replace a passport and a driving license if it's taken nationwide, as this is the one piece of ID that gets me through the gates and everything. And let's be fair, they charge you the earth for a passport, they charge you a fortune for a driving license, so having that ID and it's free might be a benefit to future generations.
Losing his mind. And I'm reaping all the benefits.
My biggest concern is what it could possibly mean going forward. What's the next step? What's the next evolution of this? My theories, my probably maybe crazy conspiracy theories, or my inkling, is digital currency, centralized digital currency. We're already seeing so many shops and takeaways and things we use every day that no longer accept cash in any way, in any form, whether it's fiat currency or whether it's gold, silver, anything. They want just that tap of the card. And companies do that because it's convenient for them. They don't have to deal with cash. They don't have to worry about people stealing, etc. I get it. But it feels like it's edging closer to the point where digital currency would be a flick of the switch. Yeah, let's just switch it all over. Yeah, we already use digital currency now. You get a magic number that appears at the end of the month, and then you tap a piece of plastic, and that magic number goes down and down and down. We're practically there. But a centralized digital currency means a control level that no government should ever have over its people, as far as I'm concerned. But again, it puts you in that position of how do you resist? As an individual, how do you resist? You could form communities at that point, live off the land, form communities, barter and trade. That's probably one way of doing it. It kind of throws me almost into Demolition Man, where this utopian society is living above ground, following all the rules, including not swearing.
John Spartan, you are fined 1 credit for a violation of the verbal morality statute.
And if you want to be free, you've got to live in the sewers, you've got to live off grid, you've got to be not part of the system.
I'm the enemy, because I like to think. You've seen the future. You know what it is? It's a 47-year-old virgin sitting around in his beige pajamas, drinking a banana broccoli shake, singing I'm an Oscar Mayer wiener.
That's what I see as centralized digital currency. I will attempt to resist that as much as possible, but at the end of the day, I've got kids to feed, I've got a family to look after, I'll do what I have to. The only way resistance would ever work is if it was actual physical resistance in this country. And we don't have the logistics, the manpower, the leadership to do that kind of thing. It's not even worth talking about. Constantly hearing fear-mongering channels talking about civil war in this country. There's not going to be a civil war in this country. What are we going to rise up with? They've disarmed this nation practically. On one hand, you're disarming a nation. On the other hand, you're militarizing a police force. And that police force is slowly becoming the same sort of demographic. People out of university rather than people with life experience. It's genuinely scary the way things seem to be going. And I genuinely hope that somehow an election's called and we get somebody in that puts a stop to this. But just bear in mind, putting a stop to something is one thing. Rolling it back is another. If we have digital ID by the time the next election goes round, the next government's not going to get rid of it. Even if it is reform, advanced, anyone like that, they're not going to get rid of it. Why would they get rid of it? There's a system in there that they can utilise. Let's just hope digital currency is not in place by that point. On principle, I will resist it as long as I can. Both digital ID and anything else like that. That's the only way I can kind of show my protest. I will push it to the very limit till I'm forced into getting it. Where it's a point where I can't work and I can't earn money and I can't do anything without this ID. If it gets to that stage, then I'll get it. But if they just turn around and say, well, you can't travel abroad if you don't get it, fine, no problem. I won't travel abroad. Yeah. I wasn't going to get a COVID passport. I'm certainly not going to get a digital ID just to go on holiday in Spain and spend a fortune. If it comes down to feeding my family and living and earning my wage, then I'll be forced into it, but I will resist as long as possible. And I think that's the only thing we can do. We just have to go with the flow. And what we can do is prep for that the best way we can. It's by prepping the way we've always been prepping. The general core of prepping. Food, water, everything like that. Get it all now, before it's tracked. As soon as it's a centralized digital currency, they know how many cans of beans you bought. They know how much food you're buying, and they probably have a good guess at how much you would consume and how much you'd have left. That's what centralized digital currency does. Gives them all the power and knowledge over everything you do, everything you buy, and everything you're allowed to buy. Expecting to see some good comments on this one. I would love to hear how you plan to resist, if you still plan to resist. I'd love to hear your thoughts on my take on this. Have I got a defeatist attitude with it? But think about it logically. If I told you tomorrow you cannot continue at your job and you cannot get paid and you cannot use your bank without this digital ID, how will you resist that? I'm open to learning. That's it for this one. This was more of a follow-up from a previous video, just to address the comments I kind of got in there. So looking forward to the next wave of comments on this subject. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Goodbye.
Yeah.